I get the feeling that a lot of people are struggling with this one these days. We all know that the US is known for its hustle and work culture, but a big part of the narrative in recent times is that sometimes it feels like all of that work, all those hours, all that investment isn't really getting us anywhere. It's just sustaining the hamster wheel we're on. And even if the investment is worth it, I think a lot of us work so hard not because it fulfills us, but because it feeds our egos, or it allows us to escape the things that we don't want to face back home or in our own internal world. In the book, this man, John, is a sales executive in his 70s or 80s, and he's married to this woman named Margaret. The couple already had plenty of money, and their kids had long grown and moved out. Margaret begged John to retire so they could finally travel the world together, but John just loved chasing the next deal. He loved the game of watching his earnings go up, and he enjoyed the status that work gave to him. But after waiting 15 long years for him to retire, John finally promised that he'd work for just one more year. And so Margaret began planning their twilight adventures together. But 4 months before retirement, Margaret started feeling ill, and only a month later, she died. Now, with John being on his own deathbed and filled with guilt for not spending the time with his wife, who waited so patiently for him to slow down, he reflected on the sadness he felt. Don't create a life where you're going to regret working too hard. I didn't know I was going to regret it until I was at this time, facing the very end. I wonder why we have to wait until we're dying to figure things like this out. Maybe there's a time in all of our lives to really hustle and grind. But one thing that having this blood clot has really put into perspective for me is that if we live and work as if we're guaranteed to have many more years left in our life, we might actually be robbing ourselves of precious time with the people, places, and things that we would want more than anything in this world if we knew that we only had a short time left to live.